Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Very Biased Opinions. My name is Tom, this is Ian, and we are doing match day 31 of the League One. And without further ado, we're gilding the lily. Look below for your matches if you don't want to listen to nonsense. Ian, what is the first game?
One of the greatest cities to ever live in, Lincoln City, versus table-topping Rotherham United.
So, I'm going to have to quickly scroll back. Now, there was a huge result in League One over the weekend. Ground-shattering. And I believe it was the worst city in Europe being beaten by the worst football team in Europe, as Southend United claimed a 2-1 victory at home against Lincoln City. So remind me, what positives are there for Lincoln City?
Well, do you know what's worse? Is I actually on the video said go over to Grandstand Bettors and put money on Lincoln getting in the playoffs. Thanks, Lincoln. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Truly diabolical result. Sol Campbell literally has no idea what's just happened. Is he still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, good, right. I know something. So one of the worst clubs in the league is coming up against the form club. Somehow Wycombe are sticking around the top because they had such a lead at one point that despite winning, I think, 1 or 2 games in the last 8, they're still in second. But Rotherham are now pacing the league, and they're going to paste Lincoln City 4-1.
Well, I hate to say it, and I hate backing against the Imps, but I can't back against Rotherham in this one. They've been in such good form, as you just said. And what a terrible, terrible result against Southend. Oh, you even got it back to 1-1 and then conspired. That's their first home win of the season as well. Yeah. So terrible result. And Lincoln, although they've generally been better at home than they have away, I still think Rotherham will win this one. I think it'll be nice and easy 2-0 win for them.
Well, let's follow on from that with a real... God, Bennett, I lose optimism so quickly. AFC Wimbledon versus Fleetwood Town.
Oh, can we not just go straight to the next game? Do we have to talk about these two?
I mean, we have to talk about them, but for how long? It's kind of relative. Fleetwood had a big win against Doncaster. That was out of nowhere.
I'm refused to give them any credit. They must have cheated. Joey Barton must have had some seeded hand in it somehow. I'm not a really big fan of AFC Wimbledon either. I just feel it'll only be a matter of time before they move to Milton Keynes, just like the other Wimbledon did. Yeah, don't care. 0-0.
Oh, Ian, music to my ears as we both double up a 0-0 prediction. Because
how much money would they have to pay you to go to this game?
Just not enough money. I tell you what, if you give me the Man United job, I'll go to this game. That's it.
I still wouldn't.
All right, the Southend United job, I'll take that.
Oh, good link. Blackpool versus Southend United.
So, as you may know, and as the crowd, if they want to watch it, will see, I went to see Blackpool play football against the Mighty Mighty Yellows, where they lost 2-1.
Are you going this weekend?
I am not going this weekend, no.
I meant to Blackpool.
Oh, fuck that. No, God, no. Blackpool actually surprised me with where they are in the table and how their good form has tailed off, how remarkably effective they almost looked against Oxford, but maybe that was a mark of the fact that Oxford United came in with really poor form. But they righted the ship. Blackpool got an early goal completely against the run of play, then were put under the cosh for the next 30 minutes. Second half, they tried to put stuff together, but more than anything else, the wind was helping them. It wasn't really their great play. They have quite a good creative midfielder. Can't remember his name. Southend United are terrible. They are useless. They are garbage. They got a win last week, but God knows how. So, 1-0 Blackpool.
Well, Thomas, I think that's no win in 10 for Blackpool. Absolutely terrible run. Even Oxford managed to score 2 goals past them. But I think Southend are going to get something out of here. I think that Sol Campbell may have slowly turned that big oil tanker around. And it's just maybe trying to bring a bit of respectability back to Southend this season. He won't keep them up, but maybe they can just have a little bit of pride. And I think they're going to get a draw here. I think it's going to be 1-1.
Ian, I feel like any week anybody backs Southend for anything other than a loss is a week you lose predictions, but okay.
Hey, I got it back to level pegging.
Coventry City versus Bolton Wanderers.
So if you remember at the start of the season when Bolton really did have one man and a dog playing, well, really a load of kids playing. This game was like one of the biggest surprises of the season, where Coventry failed. It was a 0-0 draw, I think, and it was a real shock. I don't know how that happened. It's such an anomaly when you look back at it now. Generally been really, really good at St Andrews this season for Coventry, and long story short, you cannot see. Although I think Bolton did get a win at the weekend. I think both Southend and Bolton both won. I can't see Coventry not winning this one. I just think it's going to be nice and easy win for Cov, and I think they're even going to run out 3-0 winners.
So I think the thing you need to remember is that yes, Bolton won, but Ian, do you know who they beat? They beat the third worst team in Liverpool.
Oh, they did.
I'm sorry, the third best team. I lied. Probably about the same though. Coventry have been nothing sort of absolutely spectacular this year. I think if they win their next 2 matches, they're in second place over everyone. I think they have 2 games in hand, last I checked. But you know, they've been a great team this year. They're really hard to beat. I'll be seeing them play the mighty Oxford in a couple months' time. But I'm gonna back Cov to win. But Cov don't do anything easy, and they don't score a shed load of goals. So I'm gonna go 2-0 win, because you just can't see Bolton getting a goal.
Burton Albion versus Gillingham.
Burton Albion were on a really good run. They were pushing up the table, and then they came up against a strong Rotherham United side that only just beat them, really, 3-2. It's like a pretty tight game. And then Gillingham, I know literally nothing about, so I don't even need to bluff on this one. They didn't play last week.
No, they won, I think.
They win?
Yeah.
God's name were they playing, Ian?
I'm sure they won. I'm sure they won by the odd goal.
Anyway, right, so this is pointless to anyone else, but I'm going to back Nigel and his boys to come back to winning ways. I've been backing him all season. They are in like 7th or 8th place. Well, not 8th because that's Oxford United, but I'll go Burton Albion 2, Gillingham 1.
I see this being a draw all day long. Yeah, Burton have been on a really good run, and they really did push Rotherham. I think they even took the lead early in that game. Unlucky really not to get something out of it. Gillingham are just hard to beat. They just don't lose a lot of games. They've been like the draw specialists. Did get a win last weekend, as I said, and I think this one will be a draw. I'm going to go 1-1 again. Now we come to a massive game. Sunderland versus Ipswich.
So I've got to be honest, I think we both did really well predicting a Portsmouth win last week. And Sunderland lost convincingly, which drops them out of the playoff places. And now they come against Ipswich, who I think are in 4th. But Ipswich have slid a little bit, haven't they? They were absolutely
smashed by Peterborough, Tom. They lost 4-0.
Yeah.
Peterborough at home.
4-1.
4-1 maybe, yeah, I think.
Anyway, so you got Ipswich, who are seething from a loss, and a Sunderland team that were well beaten. But I got to back Sunderland in this game. I think they're going to respond. I don't think Ipswich have it in them. And I'm going to go 3-1 to the Black Cats.
Yeah, I fancy Sunderland as well. I don't think it's going to be quite 3-1 though. But it's just something Ipswich, I just think they're just floundering a little bit. I just don't like whether all that kind of... you know how they were so bad last season and they started this season well, but it's gone a little bit sour. You could just imagine that like the fans are just starting to get on that nervous run, a little bit like Leeds in the Championship, where they're just kind of like, you know, you can see that the good form's all gone away. And Sunderland are very up and down. They lost to Pompey, but that's no disgrace because Pompey are up there with Rotherham in terms of form. I think they're really flying. And yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 win to Sunderland. Anyway, before we move on to any further matches, it's just that part of the video where me and Tom take a little bit of a time out and say thank you to everybody that supports us on this channel. We really appreciate everything. Please continue to like the videos. That helps us so much to get even more views on YouTube. And if you like the content, please think about subscribing to the channel. And if you do, hit that notify bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Just remember the timestamps are down below in the description. And thank you for all the comments. Tom very slowly meanders through them. I think he's just got up to like maybe September time, the comments.
No, November 2017. I meant November 2017.
Good stuff. And as always, all of our videos are in association with Grandstand Bettors. We hope you went over there and checked out all their prizes that they had for the Super Bowl over the weekend. But they are a superb tipster website, far superior to myself and Thomas at this sort of thing, as you could probably imagine. So go over to check them out, and so you can win yourself some money. That's it for the promo. Back to predictions. Thomas, next game.
Wycombe Wanderers versus Bristol Rovers.
So you touched on Wycombe being on a poor run. No one seems to be on a worse run than Bristol Rovers. They plummeted down the table, took the lead against Coventry and proceeded to throw that lead away. Wycombe have turned into a bit of what you might expect from them, really, like good at home, struggle away. I think they've lost 6 in a row away from home, but the home form continues to keep them afloat. They beat a pretty poor Blackpool side the other week, in the midweek game last time out 2-0. And you've got to fancy Wycombe in this one. It hurts me to do it, but I can't back Rovers in any game anymore. Not since that car factory stopped producing any sort of automobile.
Burnt down! It's awful!
Wycombe for me, 2-0 win.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to do that because this Wycombe Wanderers team just looks so garbage. Losing to MK Dons. 2-0. That is really poor.
They're a completely different side away to what they are at home.
I know, I refuse. I can't believe you turned, Ian. You know you don't back Wycombe. You don't back them.
Well, I must admit,
back against them, and I'm not trying to be biased about this because I don't give a shit.
I did back them in the last home game, and it was about the only result I got right. So,
well, I'm going to go with a 1-0 away from home Bristol Rovers performance, and I'm going to tell all of our listeners now, don't put a bet on that.
Madman, absolute madman. That'll probably happen now. Doncaster Rovers or Bells versus Rochdale.
I'm really let down by my Bells losing to Fleetwood Town of all sides. I mean, Fleetwood are good at home, but come on, boys or girls, whichever one you are today.
They're not that good.
The Bells, you shut your mouth when you're talking about them. Rochdale beat the anti-football Shrewsbury Town 1-0, which was against everything we thought was going to happen. Unfortunately, I don't think Rochdale are going to win today. I think the Bells have got too much about them, and I think they'll win 2-0.
Thomas, I think you forgot a little something when you spoke about Rochdale, did you not?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, the one bit I have left between these two videos. Rochdale's Ian's favourite club, and as such, let's listen to a monologue of their greatness.
I think Rochdale are going to win 1-0.
Anti-football Shrewsbury Town host, oh god, who cares, MK Dons.
Another game you couldn't pay me to go and watch. Maybe Shrewsbury will be celebrating and toasting doing a open-top bus tour around the UK as the only British side to have beaten Liverpool this season. No, they lost in the League Cup as well. But certainly not many sides have beaten Liverpool, and maybe Shrewsbury have done this. Who knows? That's about all I have to talk about in this one, because these two sides, Milton Keynes don't seem to be pulling themselves away from any relegation trouble. Shrewsbury don't look like they're going to mount any attack on the playoffs. Shrewsbury nick it 1-0?
Yeah, I mean, I can't see anything other than a Shrewsbury ever so slightly nicked. They love being at home. They love using that advantage to score a goal. And MK Dons, man. You back MK Dons at your own peril.
Tranmere Rovers versus Portsmouth.
Well, the third best club in Liverpool is about to come up against... Oh, I have two gimmicks in this. I've got Tranmere and I've got Rochdale. It's fun. We're having fun here, ladies and gentlemen. But the third best club in Liverpool come up against the Portsmouth machine that is finally in full swing. Portsmouth are genuinely fearsome right now. What we expected from them pre-season has finally come in. It's just unfortunate it took till mid-December for them to
they still got plenty of time.
They should be clear, and the way the football they're playing right now, they should be clear. And you wonder if they'll do it because, again, you just can't keep this going for that long. But against Tranmere Rovers, I think they can. I'm going to go 3-0 to Portsmouth.
Thomas, I'm going to say it. I think Tranmere are doomed. Doomed, I tell you.
I don't know what gave you that idea, Ian.
I don't see them getting out of the relegation hole that they're in. This will probably end up being a Tranmere win, and you know it. But
yeah,
Portsmouth are going to you would think Portsmouth are going to thump them down there. I'm going to go one more than you, even. 4-0 to Pompey. Thomas, we've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of games. But realistically, what do those games mean? Jack Poop. Because it's time for the main event.
Peterborough United versus Oxford United.
I'm worried.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
I'm really, really worried. Oxford had a very much needed win against Blackpool. As I said in those videos back then, it didn't matter how it happened. They just needed to get the win. They are getting some players back slowly but surely. I think Taylor's going to be back starting. Brown did a very good job, as you've mentioned earlier on up front. He looked the part, but he's not a striker.
Nope.
I'll keep banging on about the striking things. This game, Peterborough are in amazing form. They absolutely battered Ipswich last weekend. The goals have come back. They've even brought in a guy called Smodix from Bristol City, who is a very good lower league goal scorer. Wasn't getting much of a chance at City, and he's come in and scored like 3 goals in a row now. So they've added even more firepower to what they already had. And I'm really scared that this, after the Newcastle game, which you wouldn't be shocked if you could see that one go into extra time and penalties, that Oxford could find themselves like they were against Rotherham, where they're out of the game before they even get going in the game. And I'm scared. But as this is very biased opinions, you can't show weakness.
You gotta be biased.
Oxford are gonna win. And you can tell how convinced I am. Oxford are gonna win. 2-1.
I can't believe you think Peterborough are only going to score 1 goal. Even against freaking Rotherham, they're going to score.
If nothing else, Tom, we are good at the back.
Yeah, Rob Dickey was very good against Blackpool, except the moment where he put on his ass, but that wasn't really his fault. Peterborough were awesome against Rotherham. Was it Rotherham last week?
What? No, it was Ipswich.
It was Ipswich. They were awesome against them, put them to the sword.
But they beat Rotherham as well.
Yeah.
Recently.
They did. That was what wasn't that the match they turned the rot around on as well?
Yeah.
I'm afraid for Oxford United, not because Oxford United are bad, but because Peterborough are on form. And when they're on form, they score goals for fun. Oxford looked good against Blackpool, especially for 30 of the first 45 minutes and maybe 15 minutes the second half. But this Peterborough side are running riot. And I know you've done this, Ian, but why sell your best players in January? Like, what in God's name are you thinking? You're in the playoff hunt. You've got a real chance of going up this year because once you get into playoffs, it's a freaking crapshoot. And you just go and you sell 2 of your best players, possibly your best player. Shandon Baptiste has been awesome for Oxford United. When he got injured last year, it really derailed their season. He was just coming into his own. He's been signed by a team that might get promoted this year. So you're telling me a club that's doing its due diligence in signing players with a view to playoffs and next year wouldn't have paid more? How are they broke? Is Oxford United broke? I'm let down. I was really excited to see Shandon Baptiste play. Fosu's been really good, but Baptiste is my favorite player they have. Selling key players, you just feel that the playoff run is going to get ever so slightly damaged by it, and I've got Peterborough to win this 3-0.
Slightly damaged? I'm saying it now. Oxford not going up this season.
Playoffs even?
No.
So in conclusion, if you came looking for detailed football analysis, probably in the wrong place.